Hello everyone, Alexander's Quest 2013 here, and yes, this is my actual voice. I haven't revealed it yet, but yes, this is my actual voice. I'm here to talk to you about something I used to do called Angry German Kid parodies. Yes, before the Alexander's Quest 2013 channel and my YouTube poops, I had Leosmash6772 and the Angry German Kid show. In this video, I'll be going over the history of the series as well as some deleted scenes and episodes. Now, unfortunately, I don't have all the files for these episodes anymore, so instead, here's gameplay of me sucking at Sonic Mania. Also, please stay tuned to the end of the video for a special announcement regarding the channel. So with that said, let's get started. Now, before I get into the first episode, I want to tell you how I found AGK. So I first heard of Angry German Kid back in 2010, and that's when I made my first edited AGK videos, and those never had subtitles, and they were never uploaded to YouTube. They were just for personal leisure, I guess. In early 2012, I made another video called Angry German Kid Plays Star Fox 64, which was one of my favorite games at the time, and this one got uploaded to a channel called Gary Random 9000. The channel's no longer up, as well as the parody, and being in middle school at the time, you could probably guess what happened. I then wanted to make these videos into a full series, so on April 24th, 2012, I opened Leosmash6772, and then on the same day, I uploaded episode 1, AGK Plays Pokemon Online. For those of you who haven't heard of Pokemon Online, it's an old Pokemon Wi-Fi battling simulator that was used back during the Generation 5 of Pokemon. Using the simulator, I recorded a bunch of matches and put Angry German Kid clips to these matches. One of the battles I had was against a Numel, and the team I used consisted of all legendaries, like most teams people used back then. And that Numel wiped out my entire team, and I couldn't help but laugh at the scenario knowing that my ass just got kicked by a fucking Numel. Alright, episode 2. AGK goes to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Yeah, take a wild guess at which state I live in. This episode first introduces Leopold's brother, Leonard, and their abusive father, Harold. Together, they travel from Berlin, Germany, to San Antonio, Texas, to visit Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. After riding a few of the attractions like Roadrunner Express and Scooby-Doo Ghost Blasters, God, it sounds weird saying these out loud, Leopold isn't enjoying the park, and after throwing a fit, he is forced by his father to ride the Rattler, which is now the Iron Rattler. There are a couple deleted scenes in this episode. The first is an alternative scene where the person at the ticket booth could not understand the German Harold was speaking, and then Harold would proceed to beat him up. Another deleted scene was where they rode Bud's Whitewater Rapids. I can't believe I remember the name of that. Where the original cause of Leopold getting upset was established, but the scene had to be cut due to YouTube's 15-minute policy at the time. And I had to cut the video there because my camera ran out of battery. And yes, I use a camera to record narration instead of an actual mic. I mean, I could use an actual mic, but I've always used cameras just for an unexplained reason. Alright, back to the video. Now let's get into some deleted episodes. These episodes all had scripts ready and made, but they were never made into a video. The first would have picked right back up from episode 2, where auditions for the game show Wheel of Fortune were being held at Six Flags, and Leopold was selected to be a contestant on the show. And the rest of the episode would just be Leopold playing a game of Wheel of Fortune against Mario and Hitler. On the show, however, he would win a trip to Hawaii, and this would lead into another deleted episode, AGK Goes to Hawaii, which I can't remember a thing about, apart from Rayquaza playing a role in the episode. I have no idea what happened. So, I mean, and I don't think I have the script from that episode anymore, so I couldn't possibly tell you what that episode was like. Ultimately, these episodes were cut, and then I made episode 3, AGK Plays Hearts. In this episode, Leopold uses his father's money to bet 25,000 euros on a Hearts tournament with a prize pool of 100,000 euros. Not all the aspects from the deleted Wheel of Fortune episode were gone. Mario and Hitler would again become Leopold's opponents, along with Jack Black. The editing in this episode is poor because more than half of the episode is just the game of hearts with hardly any voiceovers and poor picture quality to add insult to injury, making this episode, in my opinion, the worst in the series. Leopold ended up losing the match and his 25,000 euros and throws a fit and then gets beat up by both the security guard for his tantrum and his father for using his money. Short side note, deleted episode at the end would have had Sonic made a cameo. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog would have had a cameo. Probably would have run across the screen saying, "You're too slow." Alright, enough of that. Episode 4, AGK plays Lego Island. Leopold is alone in the house and decides to use his brother's computer. On the computer, he finds a game called Lego Island and decides to play it. Leopold doesn't enjoy the game and became particularly annoyed at a character named the Infomaniac. Upon playing the game for a while, the dreaded blue screen of death appears and Leonard finds out his computer has the BSOD. And the episode ends with Leopold getting beat up by Leonard. Interesting note here, when I was recording the gameplay for the episode, my camera ran out of recording space and I used that to my advantage to add the plot point of Leonard's computer getting the blue screen. After doing some research, someone took part of the episode and uploaded it to YouTube, thus making this what I believe to be the only surviving clip of my old AGK series. The link will be in the description below. Now, I'm not sure if this is the only surviving clip. Some people may have taken some MP4s of all the old episodes. If you did, please upload them. I'm very interested to see what these old episodes were actually like. Alright, back to the video. And a deleted scene in episode 4 would have had Leopold called the Brickster a pervert. And alright, episode 5, AGK and the new Pokemon Online server. Around the time Pokemon Black and White 2 came out in Japan, an update for Pokemon Online released, adding the new forms from the games, like the new Pokemon forms, like Black Kyurem, White Kyurem, etc. This was like episode 1, but instead of Leopold losing to a Numble, on one of the matches while recording, the button to select the attack got stuck, and then I inserted another BSOD joke, thus resulting in Leopold's computer getting destroyed. More on that later. Also, the deleted episode would have had Leopold rematch the Numble guy, but because of the Pokemon Online update, that episode was scrapped in favor of the update. Episode 6, AGK watches Barney. This is the first episode where Hitler plays a major role in the series, after making cameos in prior episodes. Hitler locks Leopold in the downstairs basement and forces Leopold to watch Barney for 7 hours straight. During that time, Harold gets a call from Leopold's school telling him that Leopold is skipping school. Meanwhile, back at home, Leonard gets back from elementary school and wants his brother to fix him some sausage eggs. But obviously, Leopold does not respond to him as Leopold is locked in the basement. Leonard unlocks the basement and is traumatized to find out that Leopold was spending the whole time watching Barney despite spying on Hitler earlier, not realizing that he trapped Leopold. More on that later. Harold arrives home and proceeds to beat up Leopold for skipping school. Not much to say about this episode, so with that, let's talk about this season 1 finale. Episode 7, AGK's computer gets a virus. Probably the best known episode in the series, one of the most views. I think at one point it had 20,000 views before I closed the Leosmash channel. More on that later. Alright, episode 7, AGK's computer gets a virus. While Leopold is in school, Hitler again enters Leopold's house, putting a virus on his computer, saying, "Leonard put a virus on your computer. What would you like to do?" And the options are, play Justin Bieber, the blue screen of death, and the locked option, fix. Leopold then arrives home to find out about the virus, and complains that the virus was put on his new computer costing 500 euros. Leopold then holds his brother Leonard at gunpoint, at that point, Leonard explains to Leopold that Hitler put the virus on Leopold's computer. And then the episode ends with Leopold getting beat up by Harold for getting sent to the principal's office during school. Oh crap, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, early in the episode he gets sent to the principal's office and beats up the principal. Also, the episode introduces Jake Randolph, and after episode 7 was uploaded on July 10th, 2012, the series went on a 16-month hiatus, and I had lost the password to the account, and by the time I had regained the password, I had completely forgotten about the AGK series. But upon watching the videos again, I had decided to continue the series, and thus, on November 24th, 2013, the series continued with Episode 8, AGK Gets Revenge on Hitler. Picking back up from Episode 7, Leopold decides to take revenge on Hitler for making him watch Barney and put the virus on his computer. The episode revolves around Leopold planning his revenge on Hitler and then challenges him to a fight. This episode introduces the RPG-style battles that would be used frequently throughout Season 2. Leopold wins the fight and returns home with vengeance achieved, and this episode ends with Leopold playing Wolfenstein 3D, with him reaching the final boss of that game back at Hitler, and Leopold gets a game over, keeping the tradition of bad endings. Episode 9, Educating the Last Day of School. It's the last day of Leopold's freshman year in high school and takes the final exams in his classes. He fails the test and is sent to the principal for failing all his finals. The principal calls Leopold stupid and tells him he must retake his classes for the following school year. Leopold gets angry at him and calls him the N-word, which was obviously censored, of course. Principal No Good is immediately triggered and challenges Leopold to an RPG battle of death where the loser would die. Leopold wins the fight and returns home only to have his dad beat him up for failing his finals and killing his principal. And as a note from me, I personally find this episode to be a little flawed because if Leopold killed his principal, you'd think he'd be arrested on the spot. But no, Harold Slick's the one who handles the situation with Leopold, and the school treats it like it's no big deal. No big deal! The principal was killed by one of your students. God, even in Season 2 was there a lot of continuity. Episode 10, AGK plays Alexander's Quest. A rather basic episode where Leopold plays my fan-made game, Alexander's Quest. Now for those who don't know what that is, which is basically everyone watching this video, Alexander's Quest is a game I made in a program called RPG Maker VX that released back in December of 2013. I used this AGK episode to basically promote the game I made, and if you want to know what the game is like, I have a video with a full playthrough of the game, along with its sequel. Yes, I made a sequel. Well, 2 actually. And if you really want, you can download the game using the links on those gameplay videos. If you wish to play them, you must have RPG Maker VX installed on your computer to run the games, or VXAs for the 3rd installment. Episode 11, AGK plays Flappy Bird. Well, it may not seem like it now, but back in early 2014, Flappy Bird was fucking everywhere. And it's basically what Pokemon Go was like back then in terms of popularity. The game was so popular that I made an episode dedicated to Leopold playing Flappy Bird. Leopold plays the game and gets pissed off at it, and then sends the game to his father to get revenge on him for beating Leopold up in episode 9. Harold gets mad at the game and smashes his computer, shouting, "Leopold is so dead when I get home." Back home, Leopold eventually plays the game so much where the Flappy Bird in the game finds out Leopold's home address and wants to destroy him and everyone he knows for sucking at the game so much. The episode ends in a cliffhanger with Leopold saying, "What have I fucking done?" An obvious reference to the desolation of Smog. Episode 12, AGK vs. the Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird has arrived in Berlin to cause terror, and his first victim is Jake Randolph, then proceeds to attack Harold and Leonard before reaching his ultimate target, Leopold. Leopold fights off the Flappy Bird, barely winning against the bird, and kills the bird with its biggest weakness, a Mario pipe. Because he has to fly through pipes, and if he hits the pipe, well, he dies. After Harold recovers from getting attacked by the Flappy Bird, he beats up Leopold from making him play the game. Kinda harsh if you ask me, but it only gets worse. Before that happens, Leopold then enters his room again to find a game standing in front of his computer, which leads into the next episode, episode 13, AGK plays Lego Island 2. Leopold decides to play Lego Island 2, hoping that it's better than the first Lego Island. Leopold encounters a rather long loading screen, one that would last 2 hours. Now, I know it's not actually 2 hours, it's more like 2 to 2.5 minutes, but the loading screens took forever when I was recording the gameplay, so I really wanted to make this into a joke. Leopold becomes increasingly frustrated and eventually tries to shut off both the game and his computer, and eventually tries to unplug the computer, but all to no avail. The game eventually loads up and proceeds onto the first part of the game where he needs to deliver pizzas to the citizens of Lego Island. He's able to find all but one of the citizens and spends 6 hours trying to find him until he runs into another loading screen and rage quits. But upon doing so, the infomaniac from the first game comes out of Leopold's computer, meaning the game is haunted, which also explains why the game didn't turn off when Leopold unplugged his computer. The infomaniac and Leopold fight in the last RPG battle of the series, with Leopold obviously winning. This episode has a deleted scene where Jade calls Leopold from the hospital, picking up a plot point from episode 12, but for unexplained reasons was cut, which I can't remember why I deleted the scene in the first place. I figured it would have fit right into the episode, but whatever. Alright, episode 14, AGK's grandfather. Probably the most infamous episode from season 2. Harold tells Leopold that his grandfather, Herman Slick, is visiting their house. Leopold fears his grandfather because he nearly ate Leopold's penis in the last visit. Yeah, can you see why this episode is as infamous as it was? Ugh. The door opens and Leopold bursts in fear upstairs, but it was Jake at the door and asks why Leopold is afraid, and then explains the situation to Jake. The door rings again and Leopold hides behind his bed, but this time at the door was the delivery man delivering to Harold some My Little Pony DVDs. Now, before I continue, I want to make one thing clear. I fucking hate My Little Pony. I added that joke in to poke fun at the Brony fan base. And the clips I used from the show wasn't actually from the show. It was from some Hitler parody I found, and I just cut it up. And I wanted to poke fun at the fan base with Harold and Herman. I know some people call him Barry, but in this series he was called Herman. Watching the show and enjoying it, symbolizing the fan base mostly consisting of grown males. So no, I am not a fucking brony, and I think their fan base is a complete cancer. Moving on, Herman finally arrives at the house to watch My Little Pony with Harold. Leonard eventually comes home from school to find his father and grandfather watching the show, and Herman shouts at Leonard, causing him to go running into Leopold's room. Leonard becomes scared and pees himself in fear. Leopold shouts at Leonard for being gross, and Herman overhears Leopold and decides that it's time to crunch his balls. Leopold, Jake, and Leonard hide in the closet and is eventually discovered by Herman, and Leopold makes a desperate escape out of the house before eventually being caught by Harold and Herman. Leopold wakes up in a dark room, which happens to be in his grandfather's house, and Herman proceeds to eat his balls for dinner, obviously censored. With Leopold dying, Leonard and Jake catch up and beats down Herman, then calls the police to take Herman away for child abuse and cannibalism. Leopold takes several weeks to recover in the hospital, and the episode ends with Leonard getting beat up by Harold for sending Herman to jail. Alright, a series finale, episode 15, AGK's family. The episode focuses on Mary Hachito, Harold's divorced wife, and Leonidas Slick, who both made their debuts in this episode. Leonidas wants to see Leopold again, but Mary doesn't want to go because she hates Harold. She calls Hitler, and he tells her that if she can avoid Harold, she should be fine, giving Mary the confidence to visit her kids again. Meanwhile, back at Berlin, Leopold gets out from school and notices a car drive by, and thinks that's his mother. Leopold gets stressed, and Jake offers Leopold to come to his house and settle down. Leopold then reflects on the memories with his mother, and that if she was heading to his house, he hoped that Harold wouldn't find her. Mary arrives at the Slick residence to find Leonard. Leonard doesn't recognize her, and she explains to Leonard that she is his mother. Mary then explains to Leonard how they got divorced. Mary did not like Harold's attitude and got fed up with Harold, and then Harold finds out Mary doesn't really love him and snaps at her and tells her to leave along with Leonidas. Eventually, Harold arrives home to find Leonidas and then realizes Mary is there as well. Leonard then calls Leopold to get his ass home immediately, as this is an emergency. Harold and Mary argue once again, Harold telling her that she shouldn't have come here, and Mary wanting Harold to let go of his angry ways. Harold eventually holds Mary at gunpoint, telling her that if she doesn't leave, she could taste his K7. a weapon from the game Perfect Dark. Leopold arrives home only to be caught in the middle of their argument. Leopold then makes the point that he got his anger from his father, Harold, and at this point Harold shoots Mary to death, and while distracted, Leopold calls the police to arrest Harold. The series ends with Harold and Herman in the same jail cell, and Harold thinks about what Leopold said, and then Harold points out to Herman that Harold got his angry attitude from Herman, and then Herman proceeds to beat up Harold, thus ending the series. On May 18th, 2015, I closed the Leosmash6772 account without warning, and looking back, I really shouldn't have done that. I should have at least kept the channel up, considering I had 500 plus subscribers on the channel, and the AGK videos, but I tell my audience that I wasn't making the episodes anymore. Should have done that, but I didn't, and what I did was wrong. If I could go back in time, I would keep the channel up, and had I continued the series, episode 16 would have been AGK plays Sonic.exe, and features our giant Sonic.exes the size of Berlin. Over time, I eventually forgot about AGK and focused on YouTube poops. So that's pretty much the legacy of Leosmash6772, and earlier I said at the end of the video I would make a special announcement. Well, without further ado, here's the next theme coming to the channel.
Starte das Spiel, du Hurensohn, ich bin der echte Stars. Wenn einer gegen meinen Bauch rennt, dann fliegt er 30 Meter zurück. Oh mein Gott, was ist geschehen? Ich bin der echte Stars. Ich werde jeden Tag mit 5 Krans zur Schule transportiert. Nein, nicht tun, das ist das doch mal.
Guess who's back? It's been a while, but yes, I'm finally back to making AGK parodies again. Since I no longer have the files of the original series, this will be a new AGK series starting back in episode 1. The series will closely resemble the old one in terms of both story and presentation, bringing back the old feel of watching a Leosmash episode. Now, here are some questions I want to get out of the way. Why am I bringing AGK back? I am honestly not too sure, but as this new series progresses, I'm sure I'll find a reason why. When can we expect this new series to come out? I currently don't have a set date for the first episode, but you can expect it to release in either late September or October. What is the first episode? This video gives a hint at that. Can you guess what it is? Guess correctly and I'll give you a shout out at the end of the first episode. How often will you upload these? I'll try to get these out every 1 to 2 months. Will Harold and Mary be divorced again? You'll have to find out. Are you keeping the different color text and fonts from the old series? No. Every episode will have white text and black outline and a consistent font for all the episodes. What about your YouTube poops? I'll still make some YouTube poops as time goes on, but don't expect it to come out very often. Alright, that's it for now in this video. But I'm Alexander's Quest 2013, and I'm back.